After years of sleepless nights, I finally did it. So I guess this means I'm a graduate now. What? The thing is that I don't really have an official graduation because I did everything online. So I thought it would be fun for me to have my own graduation. I thought, in hopes of personalizing this, I could add the logo of my university to the back of the gown. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Now, there are many ways I can do this. I could print the logo and just stick it to it. That seems like the easiest way, but it's not very fun or aesthetically pleasing. The thing that I actually want to do is to embroider the logo. And I want to get this done in 24 hours. You may be asking, why? It's because if I don't give myself a strict time frame, I'm never gonna get this done. I bought this gown about 2 months ago. And I graduated 3 months ago and I still haven't gotten my graduation picture done. So if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna get it done at least for another year. So I guess we're gonna learn how to embroider. Anyways, before we get into the actual embroidery in this video, we had talked about some of the technicalities. When you're working on an embroidery, you usually use something called an embroidery hook to pull and hold your fabric in place to work on your design. The only issue is that they make embroidery hoops only in few sizes, and my graduation gown has so much surface area.
Hi, Fatty.
So if the hoop is small, it will make the logo small as well, creating a very odd looking graduation gown. So I had to get the biggest embroidery hoop that I could find, which was a 36cm wooden hoop. Now, I didn't know this at the time, but wooden hoops are actually horrible when you're working on embroidery, especially when the fabric is a polyester material, which is what I was using. And I wish I had known this before. It was so difficult for me to work on my design because it would just unleash itself, but it's a little too late to change now. So the next thing I had to get was the thread. Now I cheated here and I got the knitting yarn because the yarn they use for embroidery is so thin. I was nervous that I wasn't gonna get this done in time. So I picked my yarn. I really wanted to get this purple because it was so vibrant, but in comparison to the logo, it was way too light, so I opted for this yarn. Now that we have our supplies, let's talk about the design. The logo. I frequented University of the People for 4 years to get my bachelor's degree in business administration. During these 4 years, the logo actually went through few glow ups. So for this project, I decided to go with the latest version, which is this logo. I don't know if it is necessary to say, but this video is not sponsored by University of the People because I know they do influencer sponsorships on YouTube, but this video is not sponsored. Anyways, I didn't have one of those fancy printers, so I did have to print my logo into 2 different A4 papers and merge them together. Then I glued the logo into a cardboard so it has more strength for our next step, which is to outline the design. Initially, my plan was to cut out every single little thing of the logo, but I realized it is not a good idea. This is gonna take me fucking forever if I do this way. I think I have to find another solution. So instead, I took the lazy way out and outlined the logo using one of these fabric markers. I don't know what you call them, but here it is. I kind of guesstimated where I should do the outline and the position of this entire logo, which is definitely not something you should do. And thank God the logo ended up being in the middle of the ground. Even I would have probably cried, even though it is my fault for not measuring anything. But yeah. As you can see, I don't know what I'm doing. I have never embroidered in my life. I watched one video last night about embroidery and here we are. And now I'm just going with vibes here. I have literally cut so many corners and now this project is becoming a circle. But it's okay, this is supposed to be a passion project. So I'm supposed to be having fun. right? Now that the outline is done, it's time for the actual embroidery. The day before, I actually did some testing to see if this project was even doable. Now there are many stage types when it comes to embroidery, and I picked what I thought was the easiest stage, which is a satin stage. A satin stitch is made by placing long straight stitches closely side by side to fill a shape. I am reading a script if you can't tell. I don't know what a satin stitch is. I don't know. The stitch itself was fine, but the only issue that I actually ran into was the needle itself. Since I had decided to use a knitting yarn, I couldn't really use one of those embroidered needles because the knitting yarn is so thick, it wouldn't really fit into the embroidered needle. So I had to use one of these thick needles that you would use for knitting. But they're not the easiest to work with outside their design purpose, especially because it's so long. It's really difficult to go up and down with it. But I had to make some sacrifices if I want to use the knitting yarn. So anyways, I thought the best way to start is by doing the border of this logo using this purple yarn. Again, I'm a beginner, so it did take me quite a bit of time to get the hang of it. It's been 40 minutes since I started, and this is all I have done. This is gonna be a long project. So it's 12:55 and officially I only have less than 24 hours to get this thing done. Tomorrow my professional photographer friend, aka Julia, is coming out to take my picture for the graduation. So we need to get this done today. So far this is all I have done, so yeah, we are in a bit of a pickle. Hey, we can do this. So it has been an hour and this is all I have done. I feel like it's going pretty good. Famous last words. So I'm done with the border. It's been about 4 hours and this is all I have done. I mean, it doesn't look bad. That's for sure. The next step is what I have been dreading for this entire project, which is the inside of this logo. For the white, I'll be using this yarn. It's a pretty basic white, so I'm just going to do the same thing that I did with purple with white. I am tired if you can't tell. I look like a mess. I didn't even shave today. What is wrong with me? This logo has so many intricate details, and I think for this being my first embroidery project, I should just ignore it. My idea is to basically forget about everything inside. I'm gonna keep it plain and simple, just white. Just white is enough. I don't think I have it in me to embroider letters and these little circles in this thing. So we're gonna keep it white. That's all. So I guess it's time for another montage. I should also mention, though I was getting the actual hang of this whole embroidery thing, as the time went by, this project was causing full body pains. This is when I remember I truly am a 70-year-old man stuck in a 23-year-old's body. But at least I can say I embroidered this thing sitting down, standing up and lying down. Call me Sabrina Carpenter because have you ever tried this one? So it's 8 p.m. I'm finally done with it. But I don't like it. It looks okay, but it looks so empty. I feel like I can do a lot more, and it definitely needs the name of the university. But I don't know how to do that. I don't know if I have the time to do that. But the only option that I could think of was to somehow attach these pebbles that I bought for another project. But they kind of looked ugly. So instead of ruining everything I have done thus far, I thought to leave the logo as it is. But I'm so proud because I think this is my first time embroidering something. And look how good it is. Sure, it's not perfect, but I like it. So I guess that means we are officially done. Hi. Sure, it doesn't look perfect, but for this being my first project, I'm very proud of myself. But I should say, the more I look at it, the more I'm being reminded of wet noodles. This is definitely something you should see from a distance. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this kind of videos where I try things that I have never done before. This is my Instagram and this is my TikTok. Follow me if you like, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.